As you're no doubt well aware, I have some experience in cloning. I've dabbled, or been dabbled, or whatever, and I've seen enough to know how it works. You clone something too many times, the matter starts to break down. You get like this like mutated version of the original thing, which is not a good thing. See, because science is a bitch sometimes. This game's a bigger bitch, though. It's LEGO Marvel Superheroes, Universe in Peril, for the Nintendo DS. I only vaguely recognize this from the original thing. Anyway, that's right. There's no 3 involved here. This is just the Nintendo DS version. Remember that thing? What it really is a dumbed down version of the 3DS version, which was just a dumbed down version of the console version. See where I'm going with this? 3rd degree of dumb, matter starts to deteriorate, Kevin freaking Bacon, probably not a good version. I mean, that's cellular biology, or whatever. So, if you've seen our review of the 3DS version, take that same game and make it like half as awesome and half as pretty. That's a DS version of Universe in Peril. 2 games are basically identical in terms of the levels and the gameplay. The difference is, on the 3DS, things look a lot better. There's a lot more stuff on the screen. A lot more fun on the screen, too. Now, obviously, the 3DS has a lot more power than the DS, so it makes sense for this one to have less impressive graphics, or at least less technically impressive graphics. So to make up for it, the game really simplifies things. Less objects, fewer enemies, less Lego builds, things like that. And it also changes the style a bit, so the characters have this comic book style, whereas the 3DS version goes for that shiny look, like the console version. And in theory, that would be fine, but the game still doesn't run that well. There's some frame rate issues, some technical things, and the sound. Not a great sounding game. But you know, it's not like this is a bad DS game. It happens to be much better on newer platforms, but if the original DS is still your system of choice, it's still a fun game. And like the 3DS version, it does a really nice job of breaking up LEGO Marvel Superheroes, which is an incredibly huge game on consoles, into something more bite-sized and portable. The levels have been shortened and streamlined, and each one has several objectives to complete. So because it's more about completing these little objectives, and because all the levels are shorter, there's something faster and more immediate about this version. It really does feel like a portable game. But you still get a lot of content, although it still seems like a fraction of what you get in the console version. There are 45 missions across several levels, and again, each mission has several objectives, so there's definitely some replay value here. Especially considering the unlockable characters. I mean, that alone makes you want to go back, to play earlier levels with characters you got later. And of course, to collect everything, you have to. But again, as for the negatives, bad presentation, bad music and sound, and honestly, some of the absolute worst cutscenes ever. I mean, they're so compressed, it's really almost unwatchable.
Give it up. Crime never pays.
You'd be surprised. It covers medical and dental. Can't escape the long reach of justice, Ark. Stop being so grabby, Doc.
I got it!
I got it! I got it!
Yeah! I got it!
It's been a general rule that LEGO games are always a lot better on consoles. I mean, that there almost seems to be a complacency on the handheld side, where it's like, good enough is good enough. LEGO Marvel Superheroes is better on consoles than the 3DS, and it's better on the 3DS than the DS, but at its core, even with the 3 degrees of separation, or whatever, it's still a solid beat-em-up. Or, I mean, as solid as it could be. Play it, is my point, but play it elsewhere, if you can.